Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer here on April Fools. And the biggest April Fool right now is Carl Jobs. He just lost in court, but he just didn't lose. He got completely destroyed. Now, if you've been a follower of the channel, you know that we've covered this story. And, every step of the way, you guys can go look at it. I think I'm going to make a playlist about it, as a matter of fact. But, we noticed how better prepared Billy Mitchell's lawyer was. We noticed how Carl Jobs' lawyer was not prepared because he was asking for discounts. He didn't want to go. And let me tell you, in these kind of cases, guys, you don't nickel and dime your lawyer because he's not going to do the work that he's supposed to do. And clearly, from what we can see, this lawyer was not as motivated as Billy's. He wasn't. Now, this is not legal advice of any kind. Absolutely not. These are just reactions from a guy on the internet. That's all I am. I don't pretend to be anything else. And this is what got Carl in trouble. Guys, if you really want to be a journalist, put in the work. This should be a lesson to all of you. If you really want to be a journalist, put in the work and actually be a journalist. Don't just get on YouTube and call yourself a journalist or an investigative this. Whatever it is that you want to be, put the work on it and sacrifice. So you can be a good professional, whatever you're going to be. So you're worthy of the title. This is what can happen when you're not prepared, right? If Carl Jobs was really working for a professional group, or even if he had his own company, you would have had insurance, you would have had advisors. When you're making stories about people that threaten you with legal action, that have more resources than you and have proven to be litigious in the past or have taken things to court in the past, as a professional, you take that as an absolute certainty. So you want to make sure that you cross every T, dot every I, and do everything by the book. Did this happen here? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The lapse in judgment that Carl Jobs showed even after going to trial, guys, the lack of common sense of this man that appears to be so smart in some respects is unbelievable. And just take it, and if you're a Carl Jobs fan, I understand that, he does good videos. And I'm not here to crap on the guy for the sake of shitting on the guy. I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't, all the missteps that he made, all the opportunities where he could have avoided this, because at the end of the day, what is it that we're talking about? He's going to pay $1.5 million about with everything that came out, which is what, $300,000 for the lawsuit. Billy was only asking for $50,000. The $300,000 is the other type of damages, plus interest, plus his lawyers, plus Billy's lawyers. It went so terrible that he has to pay for Billy's lawyers. And for what, guys? For video game scores in an arcade? Can you imagine facing your family and telling them that you just ruined their entire future because you want to talk shit on the internet about video games? If you would have done that from the very beginning, if you had somebody to talk to and say, look, I want to make videos about this guy, that he's going to court to defend his stuff, but I really want to be the hero. I want to do this and that and the other. And he's got buku bucks, a lot more money than I do, but I feel that this is a fight worth fighting. Well, right off the bat, you're going to spend $200,000. Before you spend $200,000, at least, don't you think that's worth a little bit more reflection than just, and the possibilities of losing? You have to weigh those in. If you're a single guy and you have no responsibilities, great. Screw up your life. Pretend that you're a journalist. Pretend that you're whatever the hell you want. But you're the only one paying for it. But when you have a family, it is the peak of irresponsibility to put them in that position over stupid shit like this. This is like arguing about wrestling. Who's the champion? I've told you before. Most people don't give a shit. Most people don't give a shit. And people my age, It's not that we don't care. It's just that we see Billy Mitchell like we see a wrestler, right? He's in the movies, he's on the shows, he's the villain. That's the part he plays. And the more evil, the better, right? Because he's the guy that you want to beat. You're the guy that you want to see lose, but he never loses, so it makes you even more pissed off. So you keep following him because you always want the guy to lose. And here he wins again, right? And not only did he win, it's a crushing victory where he just obliterated Carl Jobs to the tune of $1.5 million possibly, depending on how many lawyer fees Carl has to pay. It's the worst possible outcome. Guys, if you want to be a journalist, put in the work. Go to school, become a journalist, do an internship. Find out all the ins and outs. Start a business, LLC, get insurance, get prepared, get professional help. All the things that he didn't do. You could have done all this with the money that he spent in court, but instead of spending on himself, building an infrastructure for his business and growing a business that his audience could enjoy more, he wasted at least $500,000, Australian in lawyer fees. Can you imagine what you could have done for infrastructure for a business with that money? Can you imagine how much good his family could have been instead of fighting this stupid crap because he's getting gassed up by people on the internet and he's seeing himself, I'm the last hope, I'm the only savior. For what? This guy's spending money to impress people he doesn't know. That's what's so sad about it. I'm not here to shit on the guy. I'm here to warn you that don't let this be you. Don't pretend that you're something you're not because people gas you on the internet. And the consequences of this devastating loss not only affect him, they affect his family. He's got young kids. This is not even funny because it's freaking sad. Freaking sad. And the only thing he can do, right? The only thing he can do is ask for mercy from a man who he said he would show no mercy to. So what is Billy Mitchell's inclination to be soft on this guy? If he is, he's a better man than me, right? Because I would consider being merciful on a guy that wasn't talking shit. But this guy was talking shit even to the last minute. This guy was talking shit to the point that the judge saw it. And if you don't believe that he held his words against him, you're absolutely nuts. Because those words are words of malice. I'm going to be a sore winner. I'm going to keep on making videos on Billy Mitchell. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to have the admirations of strangers that you don't know? Because you have a huge YouTube channel? This is what you call YouTube muscles, right? His mouth was writing checks. And his ego was writing checks that his body couldn't cash. And he didn't cash them. He's going to have to cash Billy Mitchell's checks now. He's going to have to pay him. Because if he doesn't, Jesus Christ, it's just going to get even worse. Appeal? I don't think so. Again, this is not legal advice. But this case took so long because it was, from what we read, right, from those of us who followed the trial, this is more of an extraordinary case. So, and if you look at the writing of the judge, which is like 118 pages or so, it is really detailed. When somebody reviews this, the chances of Carl Jobs getting an appeal are very slim. Very slim. If anything, Billy Mitchell can go back in and say, you know what, I only asked for $50,000. I think I need another 150. That's more likely to happen. That's the type of victory we're talking about, where you didn't win anything. There is nothing to spin here, right? There is nothing to spin here. And again, this is not dunking on the guy. This is sad. This is absolutely sad, because you had a guy that is talented at making YouTube videos come to such a sad ending because his ego was overblown, because he's believing everybody on the internet that he can go on this crusade where he, spent his resources that really don't even belong to him, belong his family, on this stupid fight. As soon as a lawyer told you, hey, it's going to be $200,000, why the hell didn't you get on the phone and go, Billy, you know what? Tell me what you want. I'm not spending $200,000 on this stuff. I need money for my kids for college. That's my college kids fund. I can't do this. I'm going to eat crow. Hey guys, sorry, I'll make other videos on other shit, but I'm not going to do this. That's where he should have stopped. That's where he should have stopped. Over what? Video game scores? Donkey Kong? Billy took that Donkey Kong red joystick and shoved it right up his ass. And where's he at now? Nowhere. And it's surprising how many people don't understand what this whole trial was about. They're still talking about Donkey Kong. No, we'll go, I'll go more in depth in another video, but when it comes down to it, this trial was about talking shit on the internet. That's what it was about. And being held accountable for it. Now, these are the laws of Australia. What does this mean for Carl? What does this mean for all the other videos that Carl's made on other people? Holy shit. I don't want to think about it. Look what he opened himself up to. This is the worst possible outcome. This is April Fool's here in the U.S. And let me tell you, there's no bigger fool right now than Carl Jobs. Because he had every opportunity to stop this. But his ego, his pride, people on the internet that he believed he was crusading for didn't let him stop and do the right thing for his family. Guys, don't let this be you. Don't pretend to be something you're not. If you want to be a professional at something, sacrifice and do it. I'm not going to sit here and laugh at the guy because this is really tragic. And it is completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Over what? Over harassing a guy, making 1,000 videos on a guy because he was, everybody hated him and you just wanted to pile on, and it would get you views. Is the views really worth it? Does it really have to be all about views? No, it has to be about money in real life. There's a real world outside of YouTube. Carl Jobs just learned that. All right, humans. I'll come back with other videos. I'm still sick. I've been going through it. I just did part of my finals this week. I have finals next week, and I'm just overwhelmed right now. But hey, we'll keep at it. And I'm going to make a couple of more videos on the subject because I'm barely touching on it. These are my first reactions right now. When I listened to the news, I was actually driving down from the Bay down to Southern California. I was moving some stuff, and I couldn't believe it. If you asked me, I thought it would have been, a 50-50 deal that we're going to share some costs, but no. The Billy Mitchell's lawyers just completely crushed Carl, and it's a sad ending. It's a sad ending to a talented individual, as far as his career. This is going to be a stain that's going to follow him for a while because of the amount of money. All right, humans, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.